Jesus have mercy, cousin Joni Lamb of DayStar is dead. Joni Lamb is dead, y'all. And I've been meaning to do some videos on her and that adulterous marriage she got into with Doug Wise. And I pray to God Joni repented of that adulterous marriage that she got into with Doug Weiss. I pray to God she repented of that adulterous marriage. And I pray to God that she repented and was restored with her children, Jonathan, Susie, Rachel, Rebecca. I think Rachel was still with her. I pray to God Joni Lamb repented of that adulterous marriage. It breaks my heart. I am very, very, very sad. Condolences to her. May she rest in peace. I hope she's resting in peace. And prayers for DayStar and Jonathan and Susie and Rebecca and Rachel and the children. And I pray to God that they were able to reconcile before she closed her eyes. Do we even know if Doug didn't do something to her? Because that's what I was going to come and say. Allegedly, Joni had fell, allegedly, but do we know he didn't push her? I don't know. I'm just asking. My heart, a lot of you are just knowing Joni Lamb now, but I grew up watching Joni Lamb at 16 and 17 and 18. I'm 48 now. My daughter's 32. And I felt very, very sad for her. She was in a loveless marriage. Her husband allegedly had an emotional relationship. I think it was more than emotional. And soon as what was his name? Marcus. As soon as he died, she was over there in Doug's bed, allegedly. But anyways, let me just go ahead and read this, and I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna talk about it, because this is one of the things I wanted to talk about is when you are in a loveless marriage and you finally get out, you do not need to run and jump in another relationship. You need to go and seek counseling and work on yourself. And when Marcus died, Joni didn't do that. Her ears has been itchy for all that sex talk Doug was doing. And as soon as Marcus died this week, Doug divorced his wife next week, and then they're married the following week. Okay, fine, I'm over exaggerating. Next thing we know, well, anyways, let me just read this. I have to come, and I think it's so sad. My heart breaks for Joni. But this is what happened. This is what happened when you stay in these abusive, adulterous marriages. Do not stay with these men, because the moment you're free or he passes on, you're going to end up like Joni. And now Joni is dead at 65 years old. Marcus just died a few years ago, and now Joni is dead. And nobody is going to tell me. Anyways, let me read this time. DayStar Television Network announces passing of President Joni Lamb. DayStar Television Network announced today that its president and founder, Joni Lamb, has gone home to be with the Lord. Lamb passed away on Thursday, May 7th. Prior to her recent back injury, had been dealing with serious health matters that she chose to face head-on and in private. The back injury compounded those challenges and led to a more serious medical situation than anyone had anticipated. Despite the dedicated efforts of her medical team and the prayers of so many around the world, her condition worsened in the last few days. How did she get that back injury? Did Doug push her? I don't know. I'm not saying, I'm just asking. Because he was on DayStar acting like he's the president. He done pushed out Jonathan. And, 50% of me feels sorry for Joni, but then the 50% of me is like, girl, how dumb can you be to let your new husband come in and push your children out of their inheritance? Marcus has worked for so many years to have an inheritance for Jonathan and the girls, and you allow this narcissist, this wolf, to come in and push Jonathan out. Push that boy out of his inheritance. Oh, let me read, y'all. And this is what I mean by I really wanted to do some videos about the whole Doug Wise and Joni Lamb thing. I just didn't have time, and I might still do it because women need to learn from this. You do not allow someone to come and push your kids out of their inheritance when you and the daddy has worked years to establish DayStar. The only person should have been sitting on stage with you is Jonathan, not your adulterous husband sitting on stage with you, taking over Jonathan's inheritance. No, DayStar belongs to Jonathan and the girls. And what did you do, Joni, because of your itchy coochie? Your coochie was thirsting so much for all that sex talk that Doug was doing that you don't push your own son out and put that narcissist, that wolf in sheep's clothing. The only person should have been sitting right next to you, Joni, is Jonathan. So you don't go on to glory. I pray to God you made it in, because you wasn't an adulterous marriage. That is an adulterous marriage. And I pray that you was reconciled with your children. And I want to talk some about that, because I am not of this belief that we all have to be friends and we all got to talk. I feel like if this person is harming me, we don't need to be friends. I don't have anything against you. If you're hungry, I'll feed you. If you're homeless, I'll put you up. But I don't think you need to be sitting at my dinner table. All right, y'all. Joni founded DayStar Network alongside her late husband, Marcus. 1993, under her leadership, DayStar grew into one of the largest churches of the network in cable. Blah, 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 blah. Joni's love for the Lord and for the people we serve shaped this ministry with the beginning of DayStar board of directors. We grieve her loss, and we are grateful for the legacy of 65. The family, 65. 65. 65 years. That's a young age to die, especially for the born again believer. 65 years old. And soon as she married that narcissist, she started looking down. She started looking frail. Next thing we know, she got some kind of back injury. She fell. Oh my God. That's why people in the wife groups and people say, if anything happened to your husband, would you marry again? I said no. And then they said, well, if you love marriage and you had such a wonderful marriage, why wouldn't you marry? Because there's no more Michael. There's no more Michael out there. Number one, there's no more Michael. And number two, ain't nobody gonna come in here and take over my kids' inheritance. Nobody's gonna come in here, tell my son what to do, tell me what to do. Nobody is gonna come and sit in little Michael's chair. When Big Michael passed on, little Michael Jr. is the head of this family. He sits at the head of this table. Not that I don't love marriage, and no. First of all, there is no more Michael. My husband, this man is everything I prayed for. But Joni was in a loveless marriage, loveless and sexless marriage. And as soon as Marcus died, her itchy coochie was over there wanting Doug Wise, who went and divorced his wife the same year Marcus died, or something like in like a year. It is just so, y'all just don't understand how sad this is. And let this be a lesson. Do not stay in no bad marriages. You hear me? Life is too short. That's why I'm for divorce. A lot of people get mad at me and say, I am for divorce. Because if you're not doing what you're supposed to do, I'm out. Bye. Huh? Beautiful young woman. Joni should at least live to be 100 years. Marilyn Hickey, pastor, if a teacher, Marilyn Hickey, died. I forgot to do a video for her last week. 94 years old, preaching the gospel of the Lord Jesus Christ. And Marilyn's husband went on to glory. Marriage. I ain't remarrying for what? I'm free to go preach the gospel wherever I am. But because Joni was listening to Doug Wise and all his sex talk, she done got up. Because I know ain't no whole lot of sexing going on. You 62, 66, 60, 62, 63, girl. You're not swinging off the chandeliers. He's not throwing you on the table and on the wall. Ain't none of that. Your bones are brittle. But because she had itchy ears and itchy coochie. Let me go. I'm going to bed, y'all. My little boy had math tutoring, map testing. Testing begins tomorrow here in New Jersey. And so we had he's been, tutoring and with the math teacher. His math teacher is so impressed with him. And my son's math tutor, he's Asian. He's just impressed with little Michael. But anyways, I love you. My heart goes out to Jonathan and the kids, and I pray to God that Joni made it into heaven, that she repented of her sin of that adulterous marriage, that she married that adulterous man. I love y'all. Comment below. Let me know what y'all think, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Good night, guys. Bye.